Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Appropriate Audiences for the fall 2014 semester. I'm Matt, and I'm joined by Charles Casper and Colin Coyle. Today we'll be doing Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is about a ragtag team of heroes that join together despite their differences to try and save the galaxy. So we're just going to get right into it, guys. What did you think, about the movie after seeing the trailers before you watched it?
Well, I love Marvel movies, and I love sci-fi movies. So I literally went up to AMC and was like, here's my money, take it. Mm-hmm. Just let me see it 5 times. 2 of the best combinations ever.
Cool. I'm a big fan of Marvel movies. I wasn't so familiar with Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm also not a huge sci-fi fan, so I was very skeptical. And any movie where there's a talking animal, I'm usually not a fan of either. Mm-hmm. So anthropomorphism, not my thing. But so I was skeptical, and I was going to wait to see what people said about it. I didn't have the intention of going to see it.
Yeah. When I saw the first trailers, the initial character release ones, I was kind of skeptical. It didn't really look that great.
Yeah.
Just from the way the trailers were kind of cut and the joke of the trailers or whatever. And I also hadn't really heard of Guardians, but at the same time, it was like a sci-fi movie, and you don't get to see a lot of those actual spacey sci-fi movies all the time. So it's all right, I'll put it on the wait list. And then the reviews started coming out, and it was pretty positive. So I was like,
that's what changed it for me. Reviews.
Yeah. I was like, all right, I'll go and see this movie. So, what do you think after having seen it?
After having seen it? Well, after having seen it, I seen it, and then I seen it again.
Ooh.
And then I seen it one more time.
That's a lot of seeing it.
I love seeing it.
All right.
It's so good. It's my number 2. It's my number 2 movie. Twilight, Titanic, Gone with the Wind. No, Guardians of the Galaxy.
I like Titanic. It was a good movie. Anyway.
It was good. I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised. I thought the humor was mixed really well. It was even. It wasn't just one broad joke. There was humor in it. You could tell that someone, like James Gunn, the director who wrote it, also knew how to be funny. And the humor was what saved it for me, because sci-fi, once again, I kind of get bored. It's not very realistic, in fact, at all. So that was kind of why I was a little off. But I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I was really happy with the way that they interweaved the jokes rather than just kind of sprinkling them around like in Green Lantern and stuff, which was an awful movie.
Oh.
But it was one of those things where it's oh, here's a joke and here's a joke, but it really wasn't as funny as it could have been, because it really wasn't related to what was happening. So I was really happy that it was actually funny. So yeah. Anyway, we're gonna take a small break to check out one of our segments, Notorious Netflix, where we looked at X-Men Origins Wolverine, but with a twist. Hello, and welcome to Notorious Netflix, a program dedicated to showcasing some of the worst movie masterpieces Netflix has to offer. I'm Matt.
And I'm Charles.
This week, we decided to watch X-Men Origins Wolverine.
But with a twist.
In this version of X-Men Origins Wolverine, half of the CGI is unfinished.
And we were determined to find out if that makes a better film.
The answer? No.
No.
So you're probably thinking, Matt, X-Men Origins Wolverine is an awful movie. We knew this. Why'd you think half-done CGI would make it better?
Honestly, we thought we'd give it a go. Who knows? Maybe bad CGI could make it just as funny as the plot is bad.
But we were wrong. So wrong.
That's not to say that there aren't funny moments in the movie. When you take CGI out, you really could add a cute comedic effect. My favorite part was when he did the gun trick, and then the guns just go right through, because the guns are CGI, but his clips are real. It's just the guns go through his hands.
My favorite part was the really awful, way in the beginning when they're doing a transition between 2 clips, and it's just Hugh Jackman going like this with green screen in the background, and then I also really like that clip.
Yeah,
it was so good.
Overall, X-Men Origins Wolverine isn't really improved by the lack of CGI, but it can be entertaining to watch with friends, but quickly gets old.
And it gets old because only one half of the CGI is finished. Watching it, you still have to trot through the actual finished part of the movie, which isn't really good.
I give X-Men Origins Wolverine, with half of its CGI, a 2 out of 5.
And I give it 2 photoshopped gun placeholders out of 5.
That's all for this week's Notorious Netflix. Check us out next time for more horrible movies.
And we're back, guys, just for you. All right. So what we want to talk about now is, there's a lot of criticisms for the movie, various ones. But the one that I noticed leveled at it a lot, from what I read, was that Ronan, who was the main villain for anyone who doesn't know, didn't really seem to get a lot of screen time. Not necessarily screen time, but he wasn't really like built up. You didn't really understand his motives, other than wanting to just like be more powerful than Thanos. So, what did you guys think about his characterization compared to like what Marvel's clearly doing with trying to get Thanos up there for the next couple films?
I think he's just you just step over his head just to like he's a building block to build Thanos up even better. Kind of like in wrestling, Batista. There's lower level building blocks that nobody cares about. They'll beat the wrestlers just to get them hype. So that's what I think they did for Thanos.
All right.
I think they just missed the mark. I mean, this is maybe one of the nerdiest things I could ever say, ever. But I think they missed the mark. If they need Ronan to be, the dude, and they're trying to set up the Avengers too, because while this movie made a lot of money, Avengers is where they're making their money. So I think they missed the mark, and they should have definitely changed and characterized more than what they did.
Yeah, I agree. I think that that Ronan wasn't like Ronan not being characterized sort of like was like really a big flaw, because it was like, okay, I understand why every other character is doing what they're doing. Ronan just seems like he's kind of being a dick.
Yeah, I was confused until about 45 minutes in the movie as to what this man even does. So, and wasn't he played by Josh Brolin?
I think. I'm not. I honestly don't know.
I think I read that on Wikipedia one night at like 4 in the morning. Oh, Thanos. Either way.
Josh Brolin, yeah.
Well, then if you have Josh, it's got to be on the camera more.
Yeah. So, are there any last thoughts you guys want to give on it?
I think the choice of actors were great. I mean, Batista, a wrestler, he did a lot better than I thought he was going to do. And I love Chris Pratt in Parks and Rec, so that was an excellent choice.
Yeah, Chris Pratt was amazing.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Yeah, the acting was Chris Pratt was the best part of the movie. I couldn't see anyone else doing that. Having Dave Bautista just showed they couldn't afford Dwayne Johnson. And Zoe Saldana, I'm not the biggest fan because I don't think I've ever actually seen her not painted as in a color. But Bradley Cooper as Rocket, that was great. His performance was probably the second best compared to Pratt's, and he was never even on screen.
Yeah.
So all in all, casting was pretty well. That was probably my favorite part.
But we can't forget the best character in all of Guardians of the Galaxy, Groot. And Vin Diesel being cast as Groot, and with only 3 words, the best character.
Well, that's his acting range, really.
Yeah,
that's his limit. That's his limit.
3 words.
He actually had
as
to
a
learn.
trait.
He had to learn a bunch of different languages for
Yeah,
the role.
I read about that.
But only 3 words in each language. So
Really,
It's like-
he had
not
to
that
learn
hard.
multiple languages to
Yeah.
say 3. I thought like in between breaks he would just like work in his coloring book or something.
No. See what happened was it was really interesting. I was reading an interview with him, and he said that what he ended up doing was he would ask the director like what each instance of the like phrasing was supposed to like make people feel, so that he could best sort of make it actually sound like that. I mean, it sounds
Vin
really
Diesel, the
silly.
character actor.
yeah,
but like it's definitely one of those things where like you're like that's a really good thing to do if you're an actor, where you're
No,
just like,
I
I need to understand.
Well, you're looking
this.
for. Well, as an actor, you ask the director what emotion you're supposed to
Yeah.
show. It's just usually you have more than 3 words to play with,
Yeah.
and you're not a tree.
Hey, I love trees.
Treebeard.
There
Excellent
we go.
example, yeah.
See? All right. So, are you guys going to pass on it, wait for Netflix or renting, or go see it?
I'm gonna scene it again, and then I'm probably gonna buy the Blu-ray because I love the movie. It's so good.
I went to the movies with my family to see it, so I didn't pay any of my own money. I wouldn't have paid my own money to see it. I would have waited for Netflix. It was like, it's not my thing. That's all. That's what that is. It was good, but it wasn't made for me.
I feel it. I'm definitely go out and see it guy, because this was really good, and I think that more people should definitely go out and see it, and hopefully they do see it. I don't know.
Yeah,
how
it
much
deserved
longer
to be
True.
as successful as it was. It was surprisingly good.
Yeah. So it looks like we got one wait for Netflix and 2 go out and seize it. So We'll see you next week on Appropriate Audiences, where we'll be doing some movie. See you then.